And then now we move to our kind of like closing in a bit, but we're moving to an important point here. You and I talk about this off camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Álvarez.
Mm-hmm.
Terence Crawford arrived physically perfect. The
Mm-hmm.
guy kind of like took 1 year to get up in the ring again from his last fight to fight Canelo. We looked that he was training. He was totally, engaged in the snack program with Victor Conte, rest in
Mm-hmm.
peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest hesitation, I don't know what was your opinion before the fight, if you thought that Crawford will win or Canelo, but the common sense on everybody was that Canelo was gonna win because the jump in weight from Crawford. It's not that Canelo was much bigger in size, because he was not even that much. I mean, actually, Crawford was a little bit taller. He had more reach, and physically, Canelo looked a little bit wider, but it was not a huge difference. But it was more the fact that he was gonna be more adapt to the weight, and that if Crawford was gonna be able to do his boxing that was doing at 147 at a
Mm-hmm.
168, right, with like 20, 30 pounds more on
Mm-hmm.
body, and oh boy, he did it, right? What did you see in him that night that surprised you, or that, I don't know, maybe you already knew that he was gonna do that?
Well, I had Canelo. I had Canelo winning the fight
Okay,
before the fight started
okay,
because physically, mentally, Canelo has been at the highest level. Canelo has
yep,
taken punches from the biggest and the baddest, right?
yep, yep.
Crawford had not been to that level of proponents that Canelo had. Also, I took in consideration, we got to remember this. Canelo Alvarez has not been the same fighter after he fought Floyd Mayweather. He got way better.
Hmm.
He kept getting better and getting better and getting better. And then you come against a guy like Crawford he did a lot of stuff. He could knock Canelo out. You're not knocking Canelo out. That's not going to happen. The
Hmm.
difference in that fight, let's take this for instance. You remember Mayweather and Madonna?
Yep,
The first fight, right? Madonna did not let Mayweather breathe.
yep,
Let's take it to Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. I think Canelo got caught up into trying to box him.
uh-huh,
Canelo didn't even throw a whole bunch of jabs. Check the fight out.
no,
I watched that
yep,
fight a million times,
yeah,
right? Canelo didn't throw that many jabs. Canelo physique is way stronger, and Canelo can box and he can bang.
yep,
We get Canelo volume up to the par, right? I mean, open everything up. Canelo goes in there, does not let Crawford box. Crawford is a slightly better boxer than Canelo. His
mhm,
hands are a little faster. Okay, so what we do with Canelo? We like I did. We brainwash his nervous system. We make Canelo this as fast as Crawford. He's stronger than Crawford. If they fight again, I believe he knocks Crawford out, but he has to be in condition enough to do that every single round for 45 minutes. That's where I come in.
okay. I will go into that into that in a bit. But what did surprise you about Crawford? How did Crawford achieve everything that he was doing in 147, but in 168 he looked like a fish in a tank that like it belonged there. And then on top of that, Crawford almost, like being older than Canelo, almost 40 years old, 38 years old. How did his body was so adapted to that weight? What happened? Tell us a little bit
But
about
listen,
the science on
but
that.
but listen, but we got to be real about it. Crawford ain't really been tested like Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
Crawford ain't really been in no big giant wars like Canelo. Okay, what he did is he was a slightly better boxer than Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he did. And for somehow he couldn't Canelo couldn't hit him flush. He
Yep.
hit him flush a couple of times. If Canelo Alvarez lands a flush punch the whole entire fight, he beats Crawford. He if he closed the gap, he can Canelo slick too. And he could
Yeah.
punch. So Crawford just had a little more slickness than Canelo. He was counterpunching because Canelo has a little bit slower. So you got to work on Canelo's nervous system. We get Canelo's nervous system up and open his lungs up. He beats Crawford handily and put
Okay,
that pressure on him.
so let me ask you this. So you're basically trying to say, if we focus right now on Crawford and not so much in Canelo, that as long as you have a game plan and you are focused and you do what you're supposed to do with your physical trainer and condition, and they have the right strategy, jumping in weight classes might not be such a challenge, right? If you do it the right way, and that's kind of like what happened with Terence Crawford, right? That he
Well,
took his time, he did his work, and the results came.
so Crawford walks around at that weight.
Uh-huh.
There was really not a weight jump for Crawford. He
That's
walks
true. And
around at the weight.
yeah, you know what? Roy Jones said something like that. He's like, Crawford always walks around this weight. The
Yeah,
only difference between these fights and the ones in 147 is that when he's fighting in 147, he needs to cut weight to go down to 147.
yeah,
But
yeah.
because he's fighting at 168, now
Hmm.
he's going to have to cut weight only to go down to 168. But
Yeah.
he's not going to be much different. And to be honest, I didn't believe him. Timothy Bradley said around the same thing, and I didn't
Hmm.
believe him because I thought the weight was gonna be a big deal, and it
Yeah.
wasn't. So
No.
in the Canelo side, then obviously you already covered part of it on what was missing. But let me tell you this: a lot of people, they always said that Tommy Hearns would be the perfect boxer if he would
Hmm.
have a good chin. That if he would have a good chin, he would be the perfect boxer because everything else he did it great. He had
Hmm.
power, he had speed, and he was a very good technique fighter. I'm not talking about Canelo is the same as Tommy Hearns, but definitely Canelo is a great fighter too, and he does a lot of good things in boxing that kept him winning and all that. But there's always been the problem, the cardio. Since he was young, it was always the cardio. In 154, we kind of thought that the cardio was an issue because he was killing himself to make the weight. But then when he went to 160 and then the run in 168 where he was looking great, I mean, he was in his prime, but he was never a big volume puncher, which
Hmm.
he didn't need it because he sacrificed volume for accuracy. The guy is so damn good that he pretty much the punch that he threw, he hit it, right? So the problem is that when you're facing fighters that are very slick and they are elite fighters like Floyd Mayweather, like Terence Crawford, you need more volume to
Hmm.
beat those guys, like you mentioned, Maidana. But let me ask you this: is the Canelo's cardio the same weakest link as Tommy Hearns' chin? I mean, is
If
it something that he's just not have in his repertoire and he's
no,
never
no,
gonna
no,
have
no,
it,
no,
or
no.
is just a wrong training?
I'm not going to say that because guess what? He could have it.
Okay,
He could have it
at this age, he can
at
still
this
have it.
age right now. He could have it. I'm.
Okay,
I bet. Listen, I'll train that joker for free. I guarantee you. You give me 10 weeks with Canelo Alvarez. He will. If Canelo Alvarez doesn't get tired, he beats the shit out of Crawford.
yeah.
He got tired in round 70.
Hmm.
Round 70, the punches started missing, and Crawford started counterpunching. Canelo Alvarez has just as much upside. That Crawford can't go nowhere else.
Yep.
He can't go nowhere else. You get Canelo Alvarez, we open his lungs up, we get him more volume for his punches. He keeps that power over 36 minutes. He knocks Terence Crawford out.
So
I'm
you
telling you what
think
I know.
I think the reason why Canelo doesn't go full gas with with the fighters and try to throw a lot of punches, and that was kind of like the reason why he probably didn't knock Munguia, didn't knock Berlanga, is because he's scared of gas out. You know what I
I
mean? He's
got
scared
him, baby. I got you.
of gas out. And but I honestly thought that maybe that was gonna be his weakest link, and that's something that he was just not gonna have, and and it was not gonna happen. But I mean, apparently you said that it's just that Canelo has been doing it wrong, and there is other ways to explode that potential. So you're basically telling the Mexicans and Canelo fans that there is hope in Canelo if he does the right thing to not
Hay
just beat Crawford.
mucho poder para él.
Uh-huh.
Si él hace su trabajo conmigo, como dice él, ¡Viva México, cabrones!
Yeah, I mean,
No,
wow,
but no,
yeah,
I'm telling you, from my point of view, I know without a shadow of a doubt, Canelo Álvarez, we open him up. We get him the right technique. We take him off the fucking banging the weights because he has enough muscle. He has enough experience. He got a fucking chin. You're not going to knock him out.
uh-huh,
You
yeah,
give me Canelo Álvarez, I guarantee you he destroys Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford can't get no stronger. He can't become a better boxer. Canelo just closed the gap. We close the gap, put the pressure on his ass, put Canelo in great condition. We got a champion back. We got back in Mexico City. That's real talk.
wow,
Now, that's real,
wow,
bro.
no,
That's science.
no, and I mean, and trust me, I'm gonna pass this video once we're done with our interview because I already have people on the team Canelo wanting to hear what you have to say because they even asked me if I knew other physical trainers and conditioners because as you know, the Canelo team, obviously Eddie
They
Reynoso,
solid.
but you don't hear any famous guy on the physical part. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
feel the way I saw Canelo after the Crawford fight, that he was really a beaten man. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
was mentally, he was beaten because I think that in his mind, he did everything that he's supposed to do to win that fight.
Mm.
Obviously, it was not the same Canelo that fought William School, which was awful. He literally put the effort to train for the Crawford fight. He did what he's supposed to. He went to the altitude. He did everything that he's supposed to, and still he couldn't beat him. That's why when Max Kellerman asked him, "Do you want the rematch?" He didn't say anything. He
Well,
hesitated because I think he was disappointed of himself. It's like I tried it all and I couldn't win. Maybe I'm just old now. You know what I
he
mean?
did not.
But
He didn't try it all because he hadn't tried me.
yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, you give me Canelo Alvarez in an altitude, you'll never see this Canelo Alvarez. What I'm going to put on Canelo, I need Canelo to come to camp with an open mind
Yep.
because the things that I'm going to do with him is life changing, not just for him, but for me too. To bring one of Mexico's top guys back.
Yep.
Hey, I'll be I'll be Mexico's hero. I'm telling you right now.
Definitely. And let me ask you this. Let's say you work with Canelo and
Mhm.
you do what you say is gonna happen and he beats Crawford. Can Canelo still be on the ring with David Benavidez and be that guy? Does he can still
Absolutely.
have the gas tank to be at
Absolutely.
that high pace? Because fighting Crawford is more like a crafty and obviously mentally and physical because he needs to be chasing him and boxing him and try to run on them. But then Benavidez, you don't need to go and look for Benavidez. Benavidez is gonna come after you, and you're gonna
We
have to be having the condition for 12 rounds with a guy that throws a lot of punches.
listen to me. Canelo be ready to fight 24 fucking rounds and I'm done. I would take that. He's a fucking fine-tuned machine. He's a machine. He's a
Okay.
machine. He's a fucking Ferrari, and he just needs the fucking gas. If you can't put unleaded gas in Canelo, I got the octane for Canelo. I'm telling you, and I'm passionate about what I do. If Canelo Alvarez, look, he bring me in, I need 9 minutes of his time.
Okay.
I got a 9 minute workout. That's only 3 fucking rounds. If he can't make that 9 minute workout, that 9 minute workout would change his life. That's 3 rounds. I
Okay.
would have Canelo Alvarez in the best shape of his life. This ain't got nothing to do with age. Has something to do with knowledge, understanding the fighter that you're working with. I've been watching Canelo grow. It's funny. I met Canelo passing in 2019 in Saudi Arabia. I was there working with Eric Molina, the heavyweight.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I ran Eric Molina whole entire camp. He lost to Pogovich.
Yeah.
But Canelo Alvarez has the potential, has way more upsides to come back and to destroy Terence Crawford. It's only that mental and that physical. And I'm telling you what I know. Don't forget we had this conversation. He brings me in, it's gonna be I can't. Canelo Álvarez with some energy. Canelo Álvarez punching hard for 36 minutes. Can't nobody in the world beat him. Not even Benavidez. That's real talk,
Okay.
bro. I'm not saying, and I'm not telling you nothing that's not logical. This is very logical, but he's gotten to a point where he don't believe it. He has not done everything because he has not worked with me.
Okay.
That's real
I mean,
talk.
I think that's that. Like, you convince me. You convince me. And the more I see you, you remind me of Duke, the trainer of Apollo Creed.
I get that all the time. Man, could you listen? I have Canelo looking like a fucking Greek god. Not just physically, but internally. He already got the cojones como un mexicano.
Yeah.
Le gusta pelear como un mexicano. Necesito el aire.
Yep.
Yo tengo todo para él. Tengo todo para ti, campeón.
Okay.
Si quieres
Okay.
ganar, si mata a ese muchacho, aquí esperándote.
Llámame.
Llámame.
Right.
Mándeme un avión, algo, me voy para allá. Ahora.